All right, another edition of Riding Home, but this time I'm walking to my car. A lot going on in Georgia sports right now. I'm walking right by Foley Field as the Bulldogs are taking on Georgia Southern in the little series they got going on. But listen, this week we got to talk to a few players, obviously, and I want to talk about the secondary because one of those guys we got to talk to was William Poole. Before I get started, I want to show you guys what I go through to cover this team for you. I was almost hit by this foul ball. It went right by me as I was walking to go catch up with William Poole for you guys. So I just want to let you know that I'm out here competing. I know Dean and I are going to talk about this, but I'm out here competing for you guys. So secondary, William Poole, a guy that got thrown in there late in the year, a guy that's older, got thrown in there late in the year. All season long, we saw Latavius Brini play that star position, play that kind of nickel spot, that slot defensive back. Well, come SEC Championship, come December 4th, all of a sudden, that's William Poole. He's in there. And he kind of got torched against Alabama. And, a lot of people got torched against Alabama last year. You had the Heisman winning quarterback in Bryce Young throwing to, and I'm going to get ran over by this van. And you had him throwing to Jamison Williams and John Mechie. So, yeah, it's somewhat understandable. A lot of people got burned by that team. William Poole was one of them. Redeems himself a little bit as a big play in the national championship, a pass breakup, played better in the Orange Bowl. So he played much better in the playoffs. But William Poole has opportunity that he hasn't had as much of the last few years. Now, he has an opportunity every single year to go out there and compete, but now he's been around longer than anybody else in that secondary. I mean, he even said it this week. Mark Richt's one of the guys that recruited him. He's been around for a long time, a super senior, his 6th year with the program. As you can hear all the background noise of the baseball game as I'm showing you my little shortcut. But William Poole is one of those guys. We talk about leaders on this team. Who is going to step up? William Poole is someone that can do that. This Georgia football program is older than it has been the last, 5, 6, 7 years ago. Kirby Smart has built kind of an older program. And showing you got Stegman, Coliseum, Georgia's practice facility for football is back there. Older program where you got guys that are staying longer. They're waiting for their opportunity. They're buying in. We saw Jordan Davis, Devontae Wyatt, those guys come back for their senior year. Chris Smith is coming back this year. William Poole is coming back this year. Robert Beal is coming back this year. Nolan Smith is coming back this year. So we're seeing this trend of guys who are staying or buying in the program. Part of that could be because of personal reasons and they, want to boost their draft stock. But let's not forget that they're buying into Georgia's program and that these guys are leaders. And William Poole and Christopher Smith and Keely Ringo are now 3 guys in that secondary, and even Dan Jackson, that people are going to look towards. William Poole's been around longer than all of them. He's made big plays in big games, and this is an opportunity for him. Someone that's not played very much. Who else in the secondary? He slipped up a little bit. Javon Bullard is someone that is getting some time at that position, William Poole. So Javon Bullard and William Poole fighting for that spot. Right now I think it's Poole, but something that we're going to have to remember is Tyke Smith. The former All-American Tyke Smith barely played for Georgia last year. Well, when he gets healthy, where does he fit in the picture? Is he the star like we assumed he was going to be? That's a big question. And who's going to be cornerback 2 with Keely Ringo? That's something that is still not answered yet because Keely Ringo is clearly your number 1 guy. The dude made one of the clutchest plays in the history of Georgia football, in the history of college football. So Keely is your number 1 guy. The question is going to be who is number 2. And there's going to be some freshmen that are in there for that spot. William Poole is a guy. They have a lot that they can do at the corner position. There's a lot of 5 stars coming in. And then when you're looking at that star position. You know, if Tyke Smith doesn't take it, if William Poole or Javon Bullard are just not cutting it, well, you have a 5-star super athlete in Malachi Starks that I've watched several times, and he is a stud athlete. He is fast, he can hit, and he has ball instincts, and he can play all over the field. So Georgia's got the guys. And what's interesting to me is I think that we looked a year ago, over the summer, we looked at the secondary. Okay, this is a really thin secondary. When the summer of 2021, that was a thin secondary, right? But this one almost feels thinner. It's weird for me to describe. It almost feels thinner even though they have national championship experience. Because you'll have Dan Jackson and Chris Smith and Keely Ringo and William Poole. But last year you had Lewis Seen with that group. You had Darian Kendrick, I think, and how important they were. Lewis Seen was Kirby's guy. They were both safeties. They both were 16. There was a special connection between the two of them. Kirby would always coach up Seen. You could see it on the sidelines. There was a connection between them. But he's gone, and he's going to go in the first 3 rounds of the draft. Darian Kendrick was one of the best corners in college football. He's gone. Keely Ringo, now more experienced, but still has some growing to do. Yeah, Keely Ringo made that big play, but Keely Ringo also made some bad plays and also showed why he was a redshirt freshman. So the secondary has a lot of work to do. I don't think it has the most work to do, and I talked about it this week. I think the linebacker group, and I've talked about it a lot, the linebacker group has the most work to do in my opinion because they're replacing a 3-man unit that's all going to go in the top 100 of the NFL draft most likely and had the Butkus Award winner. So that's where there's a lot of work. But the secondary has some holes to fill. There are question marks in the secondary that we do not know how to answer yet. Where is William Poole going to fit in that? Is he going to be a guy that steps up and leads on the field and verbally? I think that he can be. You are a super senior, William Poole. It is your time to be that guy. And I should have mentioned this earlier, but make sure you're taking out DAWGSTRUCTION. Make sure you're going to dogpost.com. This has been a fun walk. Let me know if you want more of these. But some of you may prefer me at my desk, but I'll see you at the site.